Okay, so now we're going to move into some word problems where we're going to find the percentage where we're using a proportion. So for example, if we're told 4 out of 5 geography students pass their midterms, we want to write that as a percent. So what we're saying, you can think of this as equivalent fractions. We're saying 4 out of 5 equals some percentage. So some number X out of 100. So this is very similar to, I think it was 5.4, where we're solving now for X. So if we want to solve for X here, we're going to do the cross product. So we're going to get 5X equals 4 times 100. So that's 5X equals 400. And then we want to isolate the X. We want just the X on its own. So we're going to divide by 5 because we know if we divide by 5, we can cancel out those 5s. And then we get X is 400 over 5. And it moved down to the line on the page below. So that gives us X equals 80. So our answer then would be 80% pass their midterm. Okay, so let's try another one. So of 50 automobiles that are sold by a dealer in 1 month, 35 are compact cars. Okay, so so that's like our total is 50, and 35 is the amount that are compact. So we have 35 out of a total of 50, and we want to know the percent. So we're looking for some percentage X, which is out of 100. Okay, so again, we're going to do a cross product here. And so we're going to have 50 times X, or 50X, equals 35 times 100. So if we do that multiplication on the right, we get 50X equals 3,500. And now we're going to divide both sides by 50 so we can isolate that X. So our 50s cancel here. And we're left with X is 3,500 divided by 50. And we get 70. So 70% were compact cars. And let's think about that for a minute and make sure it seems reasonable. So we know 50% means half of something. Here we have 35 out of 50. So it's a little bit more than half. Half would have been 25. So yeah, 70% sounds reasonable. Okay, so next one. So we have 4 of the 50 parts in a shipment were defective. We want to know what percent of the parts were defective. That is quite a few. Okay, so we have 4 out of 50. So our total is 50. We're talking about 4 of them. 4 is our amount. And we're looking for X out of 100, some percentage, which means it's out of 100. So if we do our cross product, we'll have 50X equals 4 times 100. And maybe I'm just going to try to get in the habit of using dots there for my multiplication symbol. So we have 50X equals 400. And now we want to know what just one X is. So let's divide both sides by 50. And so we get X is that 80? No, that's 8, isn't it? 8. So 8% were defective. Okay, now does that make sense? So 8% were defective, 8 out of every 100, that means? Yeah, that makes sense because 4 out of 50 were defective. If we multiplied both of those numbers by 2, we'd have 8 out of 100. So yes, the equivalent fraction out of 100 would be 8 over 100. So 8% were defective. It also asks what percent are not. Well, we know that the total number of parts are going to add up to 100%. So we can do 100% of the parts minus the 8% that were defective. And that's going to give us 92. So we can say 92% were not defective.